On November the 22nd, 2014, George St. Groves, 20-2 with 15 KOs, is going to be fighting a fighter from Jersey called Denis Douglin. He's 17-3 with 10 KOs. And they call him Mama's Boy. I'm T Street Controversy, and this is T Street Controversy Live. September the 20th, 2014, George Groves fought a French fighter by the name of Christopher Rebrasse. Christopher Rebrasse had earned himself a shot to be the #1 contender for Anthony Dirrell's 168-pound title that he won from Sakio Bika. So George Groves was talking all this big stuff, but guess what? Christopher Rebrasse started giving him work. George Groves once again started slowing down in the second half of the fight. He did not look good at all. In fact, at one point in time, I thought he may have been close to being stopped. So now you have to think to yourself, okay, all right, he's fighting this soon. Him and his team know something wrong. They have to get it together before he pursues that title shot. And if you don't know, once again, like I said on my videos when I do on WBC fighters, WBC has been forcing, and put it this way, they have been making their mandatories. They have been making them fight. You know, now they'll give you a chance, you know, to put it together. But after a while, they're going to be like, okay, all right, purse bid. So George Groves is good, don't get me wrong, but there's a part of me that believes that Carl Froch took something from him, and Austin Powers would call it the mojo. I think Carl Froch took George St. Groves' mojo. After being stopped once in the 9th, and then the second fight you get stopped earlier in the 8th, the first fight you really thought you could have continued on, you know, and you claimed it was a bad stoppage, and a lot of fans did too. Then the second fight you just get put to sleep and get like a ground pose laid, like named after you. They call it Grovesing, or doing the Grovesing. You know, so when you're laying there and your leg is in back, you got people like in the middle of the street, in the middle of Manhattan, doing a Grovesing. You know, you got people like in the grass. You got people sleeping in the bed, like doing it. It's serious. So taking the knockout that he took, you have to think, what does that do to him mentally? Now, he's pretty delirious because for some reason he thinks that he can beat Carl Froch if he gets a third shot. Carl Froch wants no parts of George Groves anymore because he knocked you out twice. Carl Froch is A-side. Carl Froch is an international superstar. But there are big fights out there for George Groves. Now, he manages himself for the most part. He's promoted by Southern Promotions. They work closely with Sky Sports and Matchroom Boxing. And the fight is going to be taking place on the undercard of Bellew versus Cleverly. Cleverly versus Bellew. You know, it's going to be Anthony Joshua on the card, James DeGale. Very, very big card. One fight I've mentioned before in the past, a fight that can be made, you know, if George Groves wants to inch closer to maybe getting Carl Froch a third time, which I doubt will happen. He can fight James DeGale in a rematch. There was controversy with the first fight. In fact, that was a fight that was similar, that is similar to what Billy Joe Saunders and Chris Eubank got to go through. As far as, okay, all right, we're the two best in this weight division on this domestic level. You know, like, so let's fight, and then we're gonna go pursue, you know, title shots. You know, but James DeGale didn't win. I got my own issues with James DeGale, but I'm gonna wait till the the Parabon video before I talk about that. So, the path for George Groves, you know, he has a good path. You know, like right now, like I said, he's the #1 contender for the WBC title. What people don't know is the WBC actually went to Chavez Jr. and said, listen, we can make you the mandatory #1 guy right now. How? I don't know. But real rap, they was going to do that. Chavez Jr. turned down a mandatory shot to fight Anthony Dirrell. So during that time, you got George Groves fighting Christopher Rebrasse, while the WBC is like, all right, that's Sakio Bika, you get Chavez, and then you can fight, you know, George Groves, basically. So I'm thinking that Andre Dirrell, George Groves is going to happen. Maybe I'm going to say definitely before the summer, maybe late spring. But it all depends on how the negotiations go. Al Heyman, Sean Porter has worked with Matchroom before. You know, I don't know about Sutherland. He worked with Matchroom before with the Kell Brook fight, but I don't know. You know, I can't remember when he's ever worked with Sutherland before. But anyway, long story short, I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Every single one. Major fight live. And I'm covering more and more and more Please subscribe. Real Combat Media. I'm a video reporter. Right down below, there's a link for a poll, a boxing poll on Hopkins versus Kovalev. It would be delightful if you filled out that poll for me. All you gotta do is click the link right there, and then the poll is right there on the right side. It's getting to the point where I just keep asking people to do the poll. I'm just going to do a video like on the poll and telling people to do the poll. T Street Controversy Live.